His responses poured in from across the boxing community, and official information began to surface. The picture became much clearer. Reports detail the high-speed crash on a Nigerian highway where the Lexus carrying Joshua tried to overtake another car, lost control, and slammed violently into a stationary commercial truck. That single revelation completely reframed the incident, highlighting just how abrupt, savage, and merciless the impact truly was.
All right. So, we have more information regarding the tragic car accident that Anthony A.J. Joshua was involved in, and everything that happened, including details on how the accident itself occurred. First, I want to say rest in peace to those two who passed away due to the accident. Anthony A.J. Joshua's very close and best friends and personal trainer, Lats and Cena. We found out early yesterday that it was indeed those two confirmed as his friends who passed away.
Once images of the enormous truck started circulating, it was impossible to downplay the seriousness of the collision. This was no minor road accident, but a catastrophic impact with an immovable object, a moment where safety features offered little protection and survival came down to inches, timing, and sheer luck. One tribute stated, RFB Sinagami and Kevin Latif Shalodale. My thoughts and prayers are with their families, friends, and AJ. The boxing world reacted immediately, with trainer Greg Hackett visibly emotional as he extended condolences to the families of Arab, Sinagami, and Kevin Latif Shalodale, while recognizing the crushing weight Anthony Joshua now bears, far beyond anything he has faced inside the ring.
Well, according to Nigeria's Federal Road Safety Corps, they said that the Lexus was traveling at a high speed, trying to maneuver around a vehicle and lost control and ran into the commercial stationary truck.
From what we got to understand was that there was a trailer that was parked at the shoulder, whereby the vehicle conveying Anthony Joshua and his team did a wrongful overtake, and they ran into that vehicle.
Now here's images of the truck itself that the SUV struck. Very large commercial vehicle.
Social media was quickly overwhelmed with tributes from fighters, fans, and even longtime rivals. Jake Paul also paid public respect to those who lost their lives, sending prayers to their families and voicing his support for Anthony Joshua. For a brief moment, the usual noise, rivalry, and chaos of boxing faded away, replaced by a collective sense of grief and shared humanity.
That was, I don't know, man, that was crazy. You know, first of all, rest in peace to both of the gentlemen. I hope their families, you know what I mean, like, could get past that. That's like crazy. I know it's gonna be tough, but I don't know, that was just crazy, you know, looking at it. I mean, I don't know how that happened. I don't know. And I know Anthony Joshua got to feel terrible. You know what I mean? Because they was with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know, that was a rough jump, man.
To Joshua's condition, and a wave of relief followed confirmation that he had survived. The seriousness of the situation reached a national scale when Nigerian President Awaju Ahmed Tinubu personally visited Anthony Joshua in the hospital, a powerful sign of how deeply this tragedy resonated far beyond the boundaries of sport.
He tweeted, RF Sinagami and Kevin Latif Shah Lats Iodel. My thoughts and prayers are with their families and friends and AJ.
Reflecting on the emotional toll, Shinzidal stressed that this loss hit especially hard within Joshua's inner circle. These were not distant figures, but close friends, making the timing even more painful as the crash occurred just before the new year, a time usually linked with optimism and fresh beginnings. Speaker 1 added further clarity, explaining that Joshua's visits to Nigeria were routine and not celebratory, stripping away any sensational angle and underscoring that this tragedy unfolded during ordinary life, which makes it even more chilling and relatable for those following the story.
It's like, this is the clearest, like, fixed fight you're ever gonna see. But look at this guy holding his hands out and watch. Watch that. He, like, literally shows him his chin, like, and he goes down. It's so fake. Look at, I mean, he's got nothing.
I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start, but as we saw, he came to my ears and whispered, "Please be easy on me. He thought I'm Mike Tyson and I will follow his script 40 seconds after I broke the clown's jaw. We are boxers, not content creators." I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start, but as we saw,
the day after I woke up, I told my wife, "Why did I do that?" I don't know. I just don't know what the hell goes on. I remember one thing. I had a very hard moment in that part of my life, but I assure you, in that age, I could have put that clown in the first round, but I sold my soul. And
you could only take so much. And at a certain, like that one that he got from Joshua, ooh. Say if you have like a punch card, you have like so many punches that you can get in your life, which I believe you do. I believe there's a certain number. That one was like 10 punches.
Yeah.
That was like, it was a lot of concussions. And
Report across social media from fighters, fans, and longtime rivals. Jake Paul also stepped forward to honor the lives lost, sending prayers to their families and voicing support for Anthony Joshua. For a brief moment, boxing's non-stop noise went quiet as rivalry gave way to empathy and shared humanity.
I'm gonna get out of the way a little bit on this one and let you lead the way, because you knew these men personally and you know Anthony personally, and you've been calling shows in West Africa, not Nigeria, but in Ghana recently. And it's horrible news to be met with before the New Year's for Joshua, who had to be feeling good about his stature being risen in the United States to a new level. And I would say he was going over there to celebrate, but really him and this man Latif, they go there frequently all the time, so they weren't even necessarily really celebrating. This is just kind of what they do in Nigeria.
Attention quickly shifted to Joshua's condition, and concern eased as reports confirmed he had survived. The situation took on national importance when Nigerian President Awaju Ahmed Tinubu personally visited Anthony Joshua in the hospital, a powerful gesture showing how deeply this tragedy echoed far beyond the sport.
But I know you have a lot of deep thoughts about this, Raheem. What do you have to say for the audience?
I think the first thing to get out of the way is just the facts. I'm not on the ground. However, there are some facts about this situation that should be laid very plain. 4 men in the car. Anthony Joshua and the driver survived this accident. Anthony Joshua was sat behind the driver in the back seat. Sitting next to him was one of the men who fatally lost their life in this crash, and sitting next to the driver was the other man. I don't know whether Latif or Cena was in the front or back seat, but if you don't know, they drive on the right side of the road there. So both Joshua and the driver would be on the right side of the car. It has been characterized by the Ghanaian authority. It has been characterized by the Nigerian authorities that the car was speeding and trying to overtake another car, suggesting that they were driving reckless, and then slammed into a stationary vehicle, which means a vehicle that wasn't moving. It was a massive truck. I saw that in a video. There has also been a report that the tire blew out, maybe while they're in the action of overtaking the vehicle, and that is how the driver lost control and slammed into the stationary truck. For context, I've never been on this particular road in Nigeria. However, I have been to West Africa many times. In Ghana, I've been in other...
Reflected on the emotional toll, Shanzidal stressed that the loss cut straight into Joshua's inner circle. These were not distant connections, but close friends, making the timing especially cruel with the accident occurring just before the new year. A time usually filled with hope and optimism.
Precious value of life. Life is precious, and no matter if you make no money, no matter if you make tons of money, sure, your living experience will be different, and some live, quote unquote, better than others, but the gift, the ultimate gift is life. And it didn't matter today that AJ was one of the biggest stars a week ago in the world. It didn't matter that he had this record-breaking boxing match. Didn't matter that he got paid a ton of money. Didn't matter that he was worth a ton of money. Today, all that mattered was God looked down on him and saved his life. And again, unfortunately for the two men that passed, they weren't as fortunate. And I pray for them, I pray for their families, pray for AJ, but it just shows you how precious every day is and how you have to take every day as a reminder that this life is short.